Hey everybody, today's video is going to be a little different than usual. With the new year rising and a bunch of new titles on the way, I figured I'd do my top 10 VR games of this year. Now this isn't going to be a top 10 of the ones that have been released this year, but it's going to be a top 10 of the games I discovered and the things I think are like the best, still up to date stuff that are getting updated. It may not be brand spanking new. VR kind of paved the way for the channel, so I really wanted to give like a VR video out there because I haven't really posted one in a few weeks. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and if you continue to show support to all the VR videos and stuff, maybe I'll try and make more of them. Also, some of the footage of these games may be pretty old, but it's just because I don't really feel like getting VR footage right now. I just got done doing a 24-hour live stream, so I'm a bit tired. Quick intermission. I did not know this. I say this in the video that I'm not getting paid to like advertise One Shot because I'm about to say it in this part, but comes to find out I actually do have a discount code. So if you guys want to get a discount off One Shots, use AMB Judo Potato or check the link down in the description below for the referral link. You guys know I love One Shots. I can't believe they actually gave me a code, and I'm so thankful. I'm literally shaking right now because I just found this out. This is so neat. So please, guys, if you buy One Shots, use my link. It would be so cool. I don't even care about the money I may make. It's just, you know, it's a product I use, and for me to technically be an ambassador of it is just really neat. So I don't know if it's technically sponsored or not. I don't really know the guidelines of this. This is like the first time I've ever done anything like this. So this is really cool. Anyways, we'll get back to the video uninterrupted. So to start this off, I wanted to talk about Ghosts of Tabor. The influence this game had on my life is honestly mind-blowing. A lot of the friends that I have now are from me playing this game. If you guys watch my streams and stuff, TK, BLT, all these people are kind of from Tabor, and it's insane. The amount of people this game brought into my life is just really astonishing. It also paved the way for this channel because still my most popular video is about Tabor. And unfortunately, the game doesn't do as good now when I upload it, but it still does decent. So I'm going to try and do a little bit more Tabor content, especially with the wipe event going on right now. I do want to play that, and I do figure that the game's going to get a lot of updates. That's my main complaint right now, is the game is just the same old state that it's been in for the last nearly year. Hasn't really got any updates and stuff like that. It's kind of disappointing, but honestly, again, this does have to be on the top 10 list. It's really fun. It's enjoyable. It's one of the first extraction shooters to actually do it right. Soon, Contractors Exfil will come out, and I'm hoping I can get my hands on that, or at least play the beta and try it out. I'm a really big fan of Contractors, obviously, so if they do it, I'm probably going to like that one a little bit more. I also have to give Tabor a shout out for introducing me to One Shot shoes. I know if you guys watch my stream, you know I talk about them all the time on how they give me so much energy and they make me feel so much better. And this isn't a product placement. I'm not paid to say that. I'm not sponsored or anything, but I really do like the product. It'll really put a pep and step in your day. So I'm glad that this game was able to introduce me into that because I always thought that was really cool. Now, number 9 is going to be Thrill of the Fight. This is a great way to work out for me. And as you guys know, I always talk about combat sports like MMA and boxing on my stream and stuff like that. So it's really neat to have like a virtual sparring partner. I can kind of beat up without getting beat up. The second game just came out, and I know I just made a video saying it needs a lot of work until I play it regularly, and that's still true, but the first one will still be a daily play to me, or at least every few days. It feels really close to actually sparring with somebody. I know you're not physically hitting something, and you really, if you're swinging as hard as you can at nothing, you really can hurt yourself, so be careful dislocating shoulders. It's really good for getting the muscle memory of hitting somebody down, and also getting the muscle memory of dodging it and having incoming while putting out shots. I use a punching bag, and sometimes it can be a little bit sucky because it's just pretty much, oh, I'm standing in front of something and just practicing my actual technique of these punches, and there's not really any movement or any footwork to that. You can, but it's still, I mean, you're going to the same area. It's not moving. It's not something on a spindle or anything that actually moves. But luckily in this game, you can get that experience, and you can see your own footwork and see that you either naturally do, naturally don't, what you need to work on, what you don't need to work on, stuff like that. So it's really fun. Coming in at number 8 is probably going to be Breachers. I have a love and hate relationship with Breachers, honestly. There's a lot of Jinxie clones, and it's really sweaty all the time. I don't think I've ever got on it and just walked through a team. Kind of ruins it for me, but I also grew up on Siege, and I still play it, and it has those exact same issues, like Jinxie clones, extreme sweats, the maps being a little confusing until you play them 700 times, not really having any good maps at all, except like 3. All that matters is the combat's fun. And again, like I said about Tabor, I met a lot of funny people on there. One word of advice, though: quit being so rude to your teammates if you're born before 2007. I'm gonna shit on you, and I try and be kind to the younger audience. Number 7 is going to be an odd one, and you guys will not pre-fire this one from me, but it's VR chat. Honestly, I don't play this game a lot on stream for obvious reasons. I don't really need to say them, but it's just a really fun place to banter with people and joke around, have really random conversations, and just overshare about stuff in life. It's always nice to go in there and tell stories and just joke around with people, or just, again, banter, make fun of each other and whatever else. It's definitely like an adult kind of game. You don't want to be young and play it, but it's still a really fun experience. If you're a kid that can take a joke and dish out a joke, maybe you will enjoy it too. Just be careful because it's a little R-rated at times. Number 6 is going to be Assetto Corsa. Now, I know Assetto Corsa is standardly just a TV like flat screen game, but Assetto Corsa really helped me troubleshoot my VR. It's really buggy all the time, and I can't even get my PC to run Assetto Corsa half the time. So when it does work, it's really fun, but it really just trained me on how to troubleshoot VR and how to work on things and certain patterns and things that you look for and you notice and be like, oh, this is a Wi-Fi issue. Oh, this is a graphical issue, like something like that. It'll teach you a lot about trying to troubleshoot the systems. And again, it's still a really fun game. I'm fortunate enough to have a Logitech G920, so it's something I can get in and have a lot of fun with and get really immersed into driving. As you guys know, I'm a really big car fan. I constantly talk about it. We play Forza every Thursday. It's gonna be on the list. I love cars. All the mods are great, and I wish console players had this kind of experience. Assetto Corsa is only good on PC to me, and if you have a console, I probably wouldn't even get it. And you just have a VR, a standalone, you can't actually play it unless you have like a PC. So it's unfortunate, but it deserves to be on the list. At number 5 is Half-Life Alyx. It was kind of my first story game on VR ever at all. It was the first look we ever really got into a AAA VR title, and it really paved the road for VR developers to really work hard in making their games higher quality. I remember there was an era of VR where there was a lot of just really tacky games that were kind of threw together just as a money grab. Perfect example of this is the 2017 Batman experience. It was kind of just a cash grab. It really wasn't that good. Fallout 4 VR was so broken that I don't even want to talk about it. Skyrim VR only works with a bunch of mods. But then this game stepped up and became its own thing. It's not some rendition of a game we've already played. It's actually its own universe and its own story to tell, and it's in VR, and it's a really long story. It's like 20 hours long of gameplay, which was, at the time when it came out, rare in VR. Also paved the road for bigger studios to get into the VR space and be able to trust it. Number 4 has to be Pavlov Shack for me. I know this game's pretty dated. I know it came out in like 2018 on the PC. I've had it for many years, but Pavlov Shack is different than Pavlov. The amount of mods that changed from the time I started in Pavlov on PC to when it moved over to the standalone, it's just night and day. The big maps, the big fights, lively servers with a bunch of people in them. You can always find a server regardless of time of day, night, whatever. There's always going to be a full server. It's just a nice experience. The game's been out for long enough that it feels polished. And again, I only got this game a few months ago. It's one of those things that's really fun to hop in just for like 15 minutes some nights. Like after I hop off stream sometimes, I'll just hop in Pavlov Shack and play like a quarter of a game, get a few gunfights in, and then just go and dream about being in an active combat zone. It can be really casual and fun, or it can be super hardcore and give you PTSD. It just depends on how you want to play it. If you want to play for 3 hours, there's 3 hours of content there. If you want to play for 2 minutes, you can play for 2 minutes. Number 3 has to be Batman Arkham Shadow. I know I complain a lot about this game on my stream when I do play it because the combat can be a little dodgy for me, but all in all, this game was really enjoyable. I still have yet to even beat it, but I've already had it spoiled, so I honestly know how it ends, and I must say, it's a really good story. I'm not going to spoil it, but it is worth the play, and it's a really good introduction into story games, especially for standalone, because there's not that many. The only thing I can think of that's even worth playing on standalone that's a story game is Asgard's Wrath, or maybe another few games like that just come out. It's always nice seeing a character you're super familiar with in VR to keep you in the space. Even Asgard's Wrath is kind of comparable to that, because you can almost compare that to God of War. You can kind of relate to it a little bit more. Anything you can relate to is just going to be easier to play. Being Batman is also just a plus. The game brought a lot of cool mechanics in that we hadn't seen in VR yet. The cape was really cool. The combat was different. The grappling and parkour were okay. Not new on that end, but good. I think this game is a really good entryway into your VR. And again, most of the time if you buy a Quest 3, that's the game to come with it. I think it's definitely worth playing. More so than Asgard's Wrath, because I have yet to even touch that game, and I've had a Quest 3 for about 6-7 months. Number 2, I'm going to say is Blade and Sorcery. Blade and Sorcery has to be the best introduction in VR, just in general. Not for a story experience, not for a whatever experience. It's just the best introduction. If you aren't familiar, it's a really easy sandbox to get into. It's easy to mod, it's got its own tab for it in the main menu, and it's just such a basic premise to grasp. all you have to do is pick up a stick and hit somebody, and again, you have a joystick to move around. It does get more advanced the more you throw mods in, and the more you get into the actual story with this new 1.0 update. It's a little more advanced than it used to be, but it's still a super basic premise, and you're not going to get really confused in the game. It's just a really good way to get used to the physics of VR and learning, oh, I throw a punch this way and stuff like that, and you know, you can have guns, punching. It's just a really good thing. It's something similar to like Bone Lab too. I think Bone Lab is a really good way into the VR space, and I think it's almost even more so better than this, but I don't have Bone Lab, so unfortunately I can't really give you the answer on that too much. Something Blade and Sorcery will do is you will break something if you're not careful. I broke a $200 monitor trying to swing, and it sucks, and it's been out for many years, so I know it's pretty old, but again, like I said, the 1.0 update is so big that it's completely a different game than when I started. The only thing I think it could get better with is probably adding a multiplayer feature. I know there's a mod on PC that allows you to do that, but I want to be able to play with my Quest friends and stuff like that. I wish they would add some form of multiplayer into the game, and I know that would be harder than I'm probably thinking, but I don't know. I would love to see it. Now, number one, and you guys already know this, honestly. You've probably already seen this coming. I glaze this game so much on this channel, and it's like the most I've ever made of VR content. It's got to be Contractors. Contractors is the most versatile game on this list. You can go and play in a Halo server and use Halo guns, use the energy sword, and it all feels like it was a Halo game, and then bounce from the very next one into a Call of Duty map with all Call of Duty guns. All your characters are fitting. You're on Yacht from Black Ops 2. And then when you get bored of that, okay, I'm all of a sudden in Battlefront 2. I'm on damn Taboo right now with a lightsaber. It's just so versatile, and I get it, all these games have mods, but Contractors just does it in a different way. Even down to, like, you can mod the handling of the guns and stuff, like the PMC mod that I checked out recently that you guys love so much. It's one of those games that I think is just amazing. It has so much to offer, and especially the player base being cross-platform with the Quest to PC, it's just continuous fun. I don't feel like this game's ever really going to die, and I hope it doesn't because it's my most favorite title. Can't really get tired of this game if you like any of the names I listed earlier. Star Wars, Halo, Call of Duty, even Battlefield. It's immersive, it's polished, it's fun, it's really social like VR chat is. It's got all the things that I mentioned from the other games except a story and just thrown all together. It's by far the most fun I've ever had in VR, and I'm definitely going to keep continuing playing this game like day in and day out because I love it. It's so enjoyable. I want nothing more than just play it right now that I'm talking about it. I would say all these games are really good buys, but if I was going to pick one that you should buy, it has to be either between Contractors and Blade and Sorcery because those are like the most moddable games you're going to get a ton of playtime out of, put a few hundred hours in and never get bored of. Tabor is kind of the same way. I recommend it even though it kind of gets boring after a while. It's still a really good title, but all these are good picks. You just have to find what you like. If you want a story game and you have a PC, Half-Life Alyx is there. If you want a story experience and you want to play on your standalone, Batman's there. Asgard's Wrath's there. There's decent story titles for everybody. If you like combat and fighting, Blade and Sorcery and Thrill of the Fight's there. If you like guns and shooting, Pavlov Shack, Contractors. There's all kinds of fun games when it comes to VR, and I'm so glad we got out of that rut of no games being on VR at all and just having a VR headset that's pretty much there like a brick. You guys may not have been in the era, but I remember I got my Quest 2 day of launch, and dude, there was not a lot of games to play. If you weren't playing Beat Saber, you pretty much had nothing to play. So it's so nice to see so many versatile titles, but I do have to give the crown to Contractors. It's the greatest, and I need more people on the servers with me. If you ever see me playing Contractors on my stream, feel free to try and join my server and find it. I have no problems with that ever. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's rather long, but I thought it would be something you guys would really enjoy. It may not be perfect because I really am having a struggle. Did just do a 24-hour stream, took a nap, got up, and here I am recording this, but it should be pretty good, and we're really close to getting 2,000 subs. We may even hit it before I release this video. So if we do, thank you guys so much for the love and support, and if we don't, please subscribe, and thank you guys again for the love and support you've been giving me. This has been insane, and this has been such a fun time for me. Streaming and stuff like that is so fun, but YouTube is like the passion. I like the video editing now. So much has changed in my life where I really can make the videos that I want instead of making something that's just easy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and yeah, that's it.